Hey everyone, Combo here, back with another Empires and Puzzles video, and today we have a Soul Exchange in the game. This is the February 2025 Soul Exchange edition, and in today's video, I am going to do my final opinion of who I believe to be the top 3 picks of this Soul Exchange option, and then I am going to pick my own Soul Exchange hero. I did put out a full ranking video about a week or so ago for all 15 heroes. If you haven't checked out that video, definitely do so. I will pin a comment down below with a link to that video. That will give a full breakdown of all 15 of these heroes. But today, I really just want to talk about the top 3 options. Before we take a look at those heroes, though, if you do enjoy this video or find it helpful, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and turn that notification bell on so you can be alerted of when I drop new content. And if you are interested in supporting the channel, hit the join button next to where it says subscribed, and you can get some additional information on that. So the first of the 3 heroes that I want to take a look at is going to be this little goblin, Deadboot. These are his max stats, double limit broken with masterclass emblems. You can see he has 1448 attack, 1176 shield, and 2301 health. And I believe that he will have longevity in the game specifically for Titans and Mythic Titans because of his special. He is very fast mana speed. He is first going to steal all dispellable buffs from the target and randomly distribute them on allies. That part of his special is obviously going to be more relevant in a war or in a raid or something like that. He is then going to deal 375% damage to the target, deals an additional 50% damage per transferred status effect buff up to 625 damage in total, and then he's going to add a wither effect. The target gets minus 300 defense. And it's that very last part which makes him so useful for Titans and Mythic Titans. The more defense that gets withered away, obviously, the more damage that you're going to be able to deal to those Titans and Mythic Titans. And for most people, he still will help you in wars or raids and stuff like that because he's very fast mana speed. So definitely a good sniper to have on your team. He is rogue class, of course, so he will have a chance to evade special attacks. He's part of the Goblin family, so the Goblin family members make it so that each time this hero takes damage from an enemy's special skill, they will remove 50, 75, or 100% boosted health from all enemies, depending on if you have 1, 2, or 3 Goblin heroes on your team. And then he does have the passive effects on special skill, has a 30% chance to perform the following actions when this character casts their special skill, deals 90% damage to all enemies, and all enemies get minus 25% accuracy for 3 turns. His ether power is attack up, so he's going to get plus 20% attack for 6 turns at the start of each battle. And while I did a full ranking video about a week or so ago of the 15 heroes, and I did rank Deadboot at number 1, this video that I'm doing today is really just the top 3 heroes because it's really going to depend on your roster and who is going to help you the most on your team. All right, moving on to my next option, I am going to go with Costume Mayat, and Costume Mayat got a huge buff yesterday actually in the game as part of the February 2025 Part 2 balance update. All of the Season 5 heroes got a costume update bonus, so she now maxes out at a total individual power of 1463, which is insane at this point right now. So she will definitely have a lot more longevity in the game than anybody else in this Soul Exchange. She has 1593 attack, 1514 shield, and 2820 health. And these stats that are shown on these hero cards are as if you were to follow the talent path all the way to the left. So keep that in mind, especially for the masterclass emblems, because that's going to give you those 3 high attack nodes for the masterclass emblems. But she is also fast mana speed, deals 220% damage to all enemies. All enemies get minus 35% defense for 3 turns, and all fire enemies get minus 20% attack for 3 turns. I do like this version of her better than her regular version, which if we take a look at real quick, the damage is much less at 195%. The defense down is slightly less, just at minus 34%. And then the minus 24% attack for 3 turns is higher for fire enemies, but that's actually probably the least important part of her special. So the 2 important parts of her special being the damage and the defense down are higher and better for the costume version of Mayat. She is Paladin class. She is, again, part of the Sun family. So depending if you have 1 or 2 Sun family members, she'll have a 50 or 75% chance to cast minus 35% accuracy for 2 turns and 196 burn damage over 2 turns on an enemy who deals special skill damage to this character. If the enemy's special skill attack defeats this character, the chance is 75 or 100%. And she has 3 passives. The first passive is effects on special skill, has a 50% chance to perform the following actions when this character casts her special skill, deals 70% damage to all enemies, and all enemies get minus 34% attack for 3 turns. Now, if we take a look at her second passive, she is going to have 3 chances to cast that passive. When this character casts her special skill, any of their passive skills that grant effects on cast have 3 chances to activate. So that 70% damage for that first one we just looked at is going to have 3 chances to activate. So that could be an additional 210% attack on top of that 220% damage. And then the fact that all enemies get minus 34% attack for 3 turns, the third part of her special, where all fire enemies get minus 20% attack for 3 turns, is kind of negated by the effects on special skill from her passive. And then the third passive that she has is mana on health boosting special. This character gains 5% mana each time an enemy casts their special skill that directly boosts health. She has the damage reduction ether power at the start of each battle. All damage received by this hero is reduced by minus 10% for 6 turns. Costume Mayat is, in my opinion, the best value pick in this soul exchange. She is only going to cost 15 souls in this soul exchange event, and I definitely think is a great option for anybody to pick in this soul exchange. All right, let's move on to my third option of what I consider to be the top 3 of this soul exchange at this point right now, and we are actually going to go to the little yellow raccoon dude, Kushanku. Kushanku is Paladin class, and for his stats here, you can see he has 1240 attack, 1206 shield, and 2190 health. He only has a total individual power of 1175, so definitely a little bit of outdated stats, but his special is definitely a little bit more unique and adds some mana control, which is why I have him so high here in the top 3 right now. He has that charge mana speed, so he's going to have 3 different charges. All of the ninja family members have this. The first charge here will activate in about 5 tiles, and this is why I have him ranked so high. He's going to deal 280% damage to the target. The caster goes into hiding for 2 turns. While hidden, the caster can't receive new status effects or stacks, and all received damage is reduced by minus 20%. When the caster comes out of hiding, they deal 347 damage to all enemies who use special skills while the caster was hiding. The target automatically casts mindless attack on a random ally when mana is full at the start of a turn during 2 turns. The second mana charge deals 370% damage to the target. The caster goes into hiding for 3 turns. Received damage is reduced by minus 30% and deals 483 damage to all enemies who used a special skill while the caster was in hiding. And the target automatically casts mindless attack on a random ally for 3 turns. And then the third mana charge deals 450% damage to the target. Caster goes into hiding for 4 turns. Received damage is reduced by minus 40% and deals 533 damage to all enemies who used special skills while the caster was in hiding. And the target automatically casts mindless attack on a random ally when mana is full for 4 turns. His ether power is ailment immunity, which is my favorite ether power in the game. At the start of each battle, this hero is immune to new status ailments for 6 turns, and then he is of course part of the ninja family. Depending if you have 1, 2, or 3 ninja heroes, he will have a 5, 10, or 15% chance to dodge normal attacks and special skills, and will have a 5, 10, or 15% chance to counter attack with 60, 90, or 120% of the damage received. And the main reason why I am considering Kushanku in this top 3 here is because he is a mana control hero. He is one of 3 heroes in this soul exchange that have mana control included in their special. The other 2 being Mortimer, who can silence 3 enemies. He is average speed, so it does take 9 tiles for that to happen. And then Waterpipe is the other one who creates those minions for everybody who reduce the mana of enemies by 5% at the end of each turn. But I like Kushanku because he can activate in only 5 tiles with that first mana charge, and if you can time that correctly, then you're going to be able to use that on a tank so that they cannot cast their special. So long as that tank is not a monk or cleric class and is not a toon, is not part of the Construct Core family. And while his stats are definitely lower, you can get his shield and health higher if you choose the different talent path. His shield can get over 1400, which, considering the fact that his total individual power is 1175, 1400 shield is honestly really good and definitely will make him last a lot longer. So I definitely like that aspect of him because his damage dealing is really not why you're choosing him. You're choosing him so that he can cast that Miles attack on an enemy that you're trying to control. All right, before I choose my Soul Exchange option hero here, I do want to point out one other thing. We did just find out that Hero Coach is coming at the end of the month for March 27th through March 29th. I did put out a video a couple days ago on what Hero Coach is. If you haven't heard about it yet, it's going to make it so that you can level a hero from 1.1 all the way to 4.90 for a gem cost. It will not cost you any resources, but that hero has to be at least 700 days old or close to 2 years. And there are only 5 heroes in this Soul Exchange that will be eligible for this coming Hero Coach event at the end of March. And if you are curious who those heroes are, the first one is going to be Queen Guang. She is eligible for Hero Coach. The second one is going to be Heimdall. He is also going to be eligible for Hero Coach at the end of March. The third one is going to be Serendite, will be eligible for Hero Coach. The fourth one is going to be Waterpipe. He is over 700 days old. And then the last one is actually part of my top 3 that I just went over, and it's going to be Mayat. She will also be eligible for Hero Coach if you decide to use her. You can only choose one hero in each Hero Coach event, so be aware of that. So if you've already got somebody in mind, then talking about this is not going to help you. I already have somebody in mind, so it's not going to help me. But if you don't have somebody already, then this could maybe sway you to go with Mayat even more. And again, she is a great value, has the highest individual power out of any of the heroes in the Soul Exchange event at total individual power of 1463. And who am I gonna go with in this Soul Exchange? Drum roll, please. I do already have Deadboot. He's at 3.70. I've been waiting to ascend him because there are just too many dark heroes that jump in front of him that have a little bit more use for me personally on my roster. So I'm not going to go with him. So for me, it's really between Mayat and Kushanku, and I would love to have more mana control heroes. So I am indeed going to go with Kushanku, and he might be the coolest looking dude in this Soul Exchange event. So here we go with our February 2025 Soul Exchange event hero. Gonna go with Kushanku. Let me know who you all decide to pick up in this February 2025 Soul Exchange event. And that is gonna do it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy it or found it helpful. And if you did, hit that like button. Make sure you're subbed to my channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.